Welcome to the Landscaping Podcast. My name is Joel Barnett and I'm your host. And in today's episode, I'm catching up again with Paul Pritchard from Paul Pritchard Landscape Design. So we spoke to Paul and Adam Hoppus before their flower and garden show build. It was earlier this year, but certainly before they did the build anyway. And then they've gone on to win a gold medal. So I wanted to catch up with Paul to talk about what it was like going from the boutique gardens up to the big show garden. Also about his trip overseas where he's visiting some gardens in France. And he also went to the Chelsea Flower Show. And we also talk about my upcoming garden show build in this chat as well. So it's a brief chat with Paul, but hopefully you enjoy this chat with Paul Pritchard. Paul, thank you for joining us on the Landscaping Podcast once again. I think it's three-time guest on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll go to three-peat. Yep.
Yep. You're slowly catching up to Peter Donegan.
That's the aim, mate. Yeah, I want to take over his reins.
I wanted to get you on because you had actually talk about your MIFGS garden as well, because we had you and Adam on to talk about it before it happened, and then it was a decent old result when you actually built it. So we'll talk about that, but also then you took off on an overseas holiday to look at some fancy gardens overseas. So I want to talk about that as well. But we'll start with MIFGS. So you were awarded a gold medal at MIFGS, and when I was there on the weekend before they were all finished, I walked around and yours and Rob Cooper's Distinctive Gardens one. I picked them. I couldn't pick. I was chopping and changing between which one I thought was going to win out of your two, and then those were the two that got the gold medal. So it was interesting seeing, even on the weekend when there was still a few days to go, that they're kind of looking amazing already.
Oh, look, mate, MIFGS again was once again awesome. What an experience. Tenfold this time being in the show garden, as you know. But yeah, came out of it bloody tired and but over the moon and again just met heaps of people and worked next, side by side with heaps of unreal tradies, landscapers, media people, all the IMG guys, all that sort of thing is just epic. So yeah, I loved it. Lucky enough to come out with the gold and the Mark Bent's Construction Award, which is a real pat on the back to everyone who worked on it because that's a big deal getting that construction award. So we're pretty stoked with that. Yeah, missed out on the big one, but that's all right. There's time in the future, I suppose.
I was going to say there's always next year, but you said won't be back next year.
No, I'll give it a rest next year. Yeah. So just exhausted me. As everyone knows who does it, you just absolutely cooked. So yeah, and then straight after that, had to shoot off and go overseas and have a bit of time off.
So with the garden show, you had done two boutique gardens prior to that. So how was it going to the full size one?
Oh, 10 times as hard. Just all the planning, all that sort of stuff was just major. Construction wise, it was really good. It was full on. We had, probably 10 plus people there every day. But yeah, they were just long days and that, but everything ran beautifully, smoothly. There was no hiccups. Everything just ran like clockwork. So it was really good. So yeah, we finished, probably with 2 hours to spare. We just
Yeah,
sort
right.
of sat back, looked at it and had a beer and that was it. So it was good. Yeah.
Did you get
Um,
anyone who hadn't been working on it to look at it at all? Because that was one of the things I found. Charlie Albone said when he won it, that's something he does is he get someone like I don't know if it was his wife or just someone who hasn't been working on it the whole time, so they've got a fresh set of eyes, and he tells them to tell him what they see, and then see if there's anything need to
I
change.
I didn't, which is actually a fair call. Probably should have done that. You probably should have come around a couple of days before you did and let me know that little secret. But yeah, no, we didn't. It probably would be a good idea in hindsight. Yeah.
Yeah, but it could make you. It's one thing that again, it's not really something that the judges might notice anyway. So that's
Yeah.
just a different person's opinion, which is gardens are quite a personal thing, and
It
they're
is,
not. And
absolutely. Yeah. So, it's great to have those judges and they're awesome. We had really good feedback and stuff, which they gave up their time with all that, which was unreal too. So yeah, it is one of those things that, everyone's got their own opinions and all that sort of stuff. And I heard them all through the show, which I remember you doing a podcast of everyone's different opinions of your garden and that. It was exactly the same. I loved it.
Yeah,
You just stand back and listen. It was great.
yeah. Like so, I'm doing one next year, and I can't, that's the thing I'm most excited about again. Is just to get to stand there and people not realize that you're related to the garden and hear their honest opinion.
Yes, yeah, it's brilliant. So you're, yeah. Can you tell us a bit about yours or?
Yeah, because I think I just did a an Instagram post about it. I think I might have mentioned it in like a Q and A episode as well. But
Yep.
but yeah, sometimes the Instagram posts do well, and sometimes they don't, and that one didn't do well. So because
Yeah, right.
it was just a photo of a can of Solo in front of the fountain because
That's it. Looking forward
because
to it.
yeah, because I am building it solo, so I'm building the garden by myself. So it's going to be a big show garden. So it'll be well, when I say big, it's going to be the smallest you can do a big one, which is 10 by 10 meters.
Yep.
Um, when I get into the nuts and bolts, I might extend it slightly if the scale's not working slightly, if things don't quite fit.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm going to be doing a heap of planning beforehand and building as much of it as possible so that it can just fork it all in. Um, and then yeah, a lot of mulch and plants. It's going to be pretty plant heavy for that reason as well because I'm going to be doing it by myself. And then
You're going to be
the
strict on that as well, like get no help.
uh, pretty much like I'm going to
Yep.
have one of my guys helping with delivery, so he'll be driving up and back, bringing stuff possibly if I need it.
Yes. Yep.
Like it would probably plants that'll because I'm gonna be growing on some stuff, so that'll probably be at my place. So I'll get him to have like a truck and bring the truckload of plants, and then he can unload them. But it's not going to be like a Guinness World Record kind of thing where someone says, "Oh no,
Yeah.
you've stepped on site, you can't do that." Like that's my goal is to do it by myself, but I'm going to finish it. So if I have to bring in 15 people to help me finish it, that's what I'm going to do.
That's what'll happen. Yep. Yep.
Uh,
Well, you got my number, so yeah, I'll be happy to give you a
yeah.
chop out. That's good.
And also, I'm not sure about the gardens at night yet, whether I want to do that as well or just get them to do it. But yeah, so it's not really, that's what I'm doing, but it's not, it's not like a
Yeah.
strict hardcore thing. And then
Yep.
also on the Monday, the second last day, it's my son's birthday, and
Oh,
I don't work on his birthday, so I won't be
yeah,
there
right.
on that day.
So
So
it's a 7 day build or whatever,
possibly,
8 day
yeah.
build.
Like, again, worst
Yep.
case scenario, I'll just get Zoki who works for me. He can just go up there. So it's just one person on there.
Yeah.
But ideally, it would be just me because that's the goal. Um,
Brilliant.
and also, it's going to be but almost like an ad for the landscaping school. So for the course that I'm doing.
Yeah. Cool.
So
All right.
I'm going to be doing stuff in there that I'm doing that I offer courses on.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but maybe I can actually make money out of doing one of these show gardens, which
Good
which
luck
would
with
be
that.
which would be
Yeah.
quite bizarre.
You would be the first, I reckon. Yeah. That's brilliant. Good on you. That's really good. I look forward to seeing that. Because have you picked your plot or that sort of stuff yet?
I've
Or
yeah, we haven't. I think we were supposed to have had them allocated, but I haven't yet. But
haven't
I
heard?
picked the same spot. Like it doesn't bother me though where I go, but it's just I've already got all the measurements of the
Yeah.
heights and everything, so I don't need to go up there to check that
Yeah.
out. And I like that spot as well.
Yep.
I like being in the main, well, the old main area. Now the main area is probably where you were. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. The
but
main
yeah, I don't,
reason.
ideally not out in a random spot in the middle of nowhere. I don't like how that you just all of a sudden find one. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
but that's more
Yeah.
so just
Good
because I
call.
want to be around more people. I just like, hanging around where more people are.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Amongst it all, amongst where everyone's walking past, all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Have a big
but
group.
also the people who are there building the gardens, like all the achievable gardens are right
Yep.
there. Um,
Yeah.
um,
Good work. That's awesome.
yeah, but the people who go to the MIFGS are like part of my ideal target market as well.
Yep.
Um, And then I had a call today to ask me if I wanted to do the home show in Melbourne in April, which I hadn't considered, but then I thought actually that would also be ideal type of people. So I can just sort of hopefully take some stuff that I use and do a smaller version there.
Take it across. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
doing the main feature garden there or
I don't know. I don't think so. It would probably just
okay.
be like a smaller one because
Yep.
I think Shapescaper are doing it again, which it's
Yeah.
on. and
Big
a couple
Dan
of
will
days.
be booking
Yeah,
in.
yeah, because he
Yep.
goes to all the different states, and then I was thinking maybe I could do that as well, just a small version in all the different states. Uh,
Absolutely. You pay the right money, mate. They'll get you there.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I might be. I was always planning on transitioning into design, but I might be transitioning into the landscaping school to educate
Absolutely.
instead. So
That's a
whatever.
great call, actually, because they are really good. You know, we've done quite a few of the pool and spa shows and the home show and stuff, and it is good. It's a bit of a buzz, small scale sort of exhibits, but yeah, it's good. Just meeting people the whole time, and yeah,
Yeah,
just watching the crowd walk past and have a look and
yeah.
have a
I
chat.
did pool and spa show before our second boutique garden. Uh,
Yep.
and but yeah, that was horrendous because they put me in the worst possible spot. Like there was like the main garden in the middle, and then there was
Yes.
all sorts of stands around the outside. And then I was on the outside of that, facing like chairs at the food court.
Awesome.
So I had my back to where all the action was. I was facing
Yep.
it the other way, so I was not happy at all about that.
Yeah. No, you can get some shockers on there. You got to get in early with that sort of gig, I think.
Yeah.
So.
So where did you go overseas to?
So we started off, the big plan was we saw that movie. I can't remember what it was called. It was about walking the Camino Trail. And my wife Simone took me to this movie because she's always wanted to do it. You know, I'm always thinking, you know, what do you want to go for a walk for 100K or whatever? Well, this is 800K about the movie. Went to the movie. I just walked out and said, "We've got to do that. That's just awesome." So we flew into Madrid and looked around there for a few days. And I haven't done a lot of overseas travel or I haven't done any Europe, or I've done a little bit of UK before this. And we flew into Madrid, and my jaw just dropped straight away. It's like, you know, Melbourne or Australia's got nothing on this. So we spent a few days there, and then we jumped on a train and went to a place called Lugo, which is 100K out of Camino de Santiago, which is the end of the Camino walking trail, and got off the train. And again, I think my jaw went even lower. I was just blown away. You know, it's
What
all
by? Like all
ancient Roman ruins, and just, you know, the streets are all cobblestone streets, the rock walls that, you know, surrounding the fortresses and the old towns and stuff like that. And it was just a landscape as, you know, absolute dream. It was incredible. And that was like day 3 or something like that. And I'm just going, I could go home, the happiest bloke alive here. Because it was just incredible. So anyway, we did this walk, which 100K walk, which was unbelievable. It was, if anyone's thinking of doing a Camino or any long distance walk like that, highly recommend it. We've actually booked to do it again next year, and ended up in Santiago de Compostela. That was unreal. So there a few nights. From there, we went through Spain a bit. We hadn't seen a lot of gardens. You know, you're seeing few gardens here and there and stuff. But we went through Spain and made it into France, hit Bordeaux, and that's when, you know, you start seeing these massive French gardens and things like that. And we were in Bordeaux, caught up with one of my daughters there who's been overseas for 12 months, so that was good seeing her. From Bordeaux, we went to Tours, which is in Loire Valley or something like that. And that's when we hit all the chateaus in in France, in the middle of France. And we picked out probably, I think we picked out, I've got a list here of 5 of the chateaus that we wanted to see, and started off in Chateau de Valandry, which I've got it in front of me just to remind me. So excuse me if I'm looking at the screen next to me. We got there, mate, and it was just incredible. Like, it was the the actual castle was just amazing. And you walk in, you just see that castle to start with, and you're just thinking, wow, you know, that is already just incredible. It's like off a biscuit tin sort of thing. So we went inside and started looking inside and looking at all the rooms and the furniture, and reading about all the history and stuff like that. And we got up to the second floor, and I had no idea about any of these because Simone had booked everything. And I got to the second floor and happened to look out the window and saw the gardens beyond. And I was like jumping, get me down out of here. I need to get out of here, Simone. She's an archivist, so she's looking at all the history and reading pretty much everything that all the little signs and stuff they have inside. She's reading everything. And I'm just chewing at the bit, get me out of here. I've got to get out. And so once we got outside, I don't know if anyone's been there, surely, heaps of your listeners have been there, but I was just blown away at this place. It was just acres and acres of just garden and manicured gardens, big lake, just what anything you can think of was there, and it was just on an epic scale. So yeah, it was unbelievable. Just blown away.
To
So
share
that
with.
was day one. This is the the first one we've gone to. Actually, we were seeing three that day, and this is like, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking, how the hell are we going to get out of here and see another two? Because I could have stayed there for 3 days. So we did spend a bit of time there. We probably spent, 4 hours there or so. And it's like, shit, let's go. We got to get to the next one. The next one was Chateau de, oh, my French is horrible. Chenonceau. I can't remember what it looks like or anything, but I just know that was just as epic. Like you're going in there and just, you think it couldn't have beaten Valandry, but it was definitely, side by side. And you're just going, what the hell's going on with all these places? So that was incredible as well. I'm just sort of trying to see if I can find some photos so I remember which one it is. This one's over a river, and it's built over a river basically, and it's a big river. So you just sort of, the architecture just blows you away. But then we hit the gardens again after going through the actual the chateau, and the gardens were just awesome. And we hit it in the start of spring as well. Oh, sorry, no, it was the end of spring. So we missed a bit in that they had started changing garden beds from their spring flowering to their summer garden beds, which was a bit of a skew, but it didn't stop anything. You're sort of seeing some incredible places and gardens. Everything, as you can imagine, was really formal. So they're real, that real French formal style gardens. But then you go off to little pockets of it, and it's got this veggie patch, and you just look at it and think, wow, it's like a block of our, suburban streets and that, and it's all vegetables and trees and orchards and all that sort of thing. And you just think, this is just epic. And it just kept going from there. So we jumped in the car and went to the next one, which was Chateau Desiree La Rideau. Sorry, everyone, for my pronunciation. I have no idea what I'm saying. And sorry, looking at the photos again here, that was unbelievable. The building was incredible again, like something you just would blow your mind. And then get a glimpse of the garden once again. It's like, what the hell's going on? So everyone you went to just blew your mind, it was just out of control. And after day one, you come back and you couldn't stop thinking about it. We went out for dinners and all that sort of thing, trying to do the French, restaurants and, really live it up. But I just had a smile on the face the whole time. It was just incredible.
You didn't happen to
Uh,
check out Chateau de Perron, did you?
oh,
That's Peter Donegan's one.
oh, is it?
Yep.
No, I didn't see. I don't know. I should actually look that up. But as I said, we're going back next year, so I might have to, yeah, head out there. I tried to catch up with Peter. So after we did this, we did the five in tour, the five chateaus, and then from there we went to Paris and went to Versailles. yeah, everyone's been, well, a lot of people have been to Versailles, lucky enough to go there. I'd heard a lot about it, seen a lot of pictures. We got there once again, just blown away on a different level. And then we got a little brochure and it said, take this route to go around. You see most of the things and blah, blah. It'll take you 2 hours. So we did that. And 6.5 hours later, we sort of thought, we're going to get going because it's getting, pretty late. So I don't know how people do it in 2 hours or whatever. It was written on a brochure. I was blown away. It's like, people just running around taking their selfies and shooting off to the next one and that because we really did immerse ourselves in it. Poor Simone, like she loves gardens and that, but I don't know if she got a bit sick of every little nook and cranny and me just going, look at this, got to get a photo of this. Trying to look at the photos now to remind myself of it, and there's like 4,500 photos I came back with from the journey, and it's like
That's insane.
I will sort them out one day, but yeah, it was epic.
How many
So
days were you there for?
we did 6 weeks. So we did Spain, France. Then we went to Copenhagen in Denmark to see my other daughter who was studying over there. Saw some epic gardens in Copenhagen as well. And then went to UK and caught up with the daughter who met us in Bordeaux too. So yeah, it was a big trip. A big trip of gardens. Yeah.
And you said you tried to catch up with Peter?
Catch up with Peter in at Chelsea. So we went to the Chelsea Garden Show. Unfortunately, it didn't align, and tried to catch up with Rob from who won the MIFGS, and I think Ian Barker was there as well. So we missed them by a day, unfortunately, because it would have been really good to catch up with them, have a beer. But it was awesome seeing Chelsea as well and comparing them so closely to Melbourne. Yeah, it was great. I think Chelsea didn't blow my mind. I think we're doing something pretty good in Melbourne. I think we've got a really good event and it's only going to get better and better. It was great. Chelsea was good, but it was a little bit stifled as well, I thought, where we sort of go out on a limb a bit more. I think I would have won Chelsea too, just quietly. But no, it was good. It was good to see it. And they do have a big buzz and a big vibe around the whole show. Like all of Chelsea, all the streets and stuff are, I think they've got a bit of a competition going on with the florists and the hotels and the high end shops and things like that. They all dress their shop fronts up, and that was pretty cool to see all that sort of thing too. So yeah, look, I wouldn't say don't go to Chelsea. Wouldn't diss it at all because it was really really good. Whether or not I was a big garden dad, I don't know. After spending 3 weeks just trawling through gardens may have been the case, but yeah, I was a bit underwhelmed. It was great, but I was a bit underwhelmed. I think I was expecting a lot more.
Yeah, it's got such
Um,
a massive reputation. So, yeah, it's got a lot to live up to.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but it was good. It was good to see everyone gets dressed up and looking all nice in their frocks and that. Simone and I we looked all right after carrying a backpack around for 4 weeks prior or whatever. So we did our best.
Did you do any
So,
training for all the walking that you did?
yeah, so not major though. The average was 20K a day. There was one day we did 32 or something. That hurt. It was a day in when Spain had a blackout, a full country blackout, and we didn't know about it. We were on the trail just walking in the middle of nowhere, and we got to the end, and the guy there could hardly speak English, or we could hardly speak Spanish, I should say. Yeah, told us there was a blackout and there's no food or we couldn't have showers or go to the toilet and stuff like that. And I'm just going, well, what do we do now? He said, just go up the road. There was one like tavern up the road and he said, see what they've got there. And they had beer going still. So we just sat and drank beer, filled up on beer for the day.
That's terrible.
And then the next day was still the blackout and nothing was open. So we didn't eat until sort of 4 o'clock that afternoon. It was a shocker. But That was all right. We got there.
Yeah. What was the
Yeah.
blackout for? Was it deliberate?
They said it may have been a cyber thing. I don't think it was. I think it
Right.
was just old infrastructure, all that sort of stuff going on. And they need to sort of yeah, fix it. I think it's pretty major problem over there.
Maybe someone didn't dial before they dug.
Possibly, yeah, it could have been an excavator or something. Absolutely.
You'd feel a bit bad about yourself. It was your
Yeah.
fault.
Puts a country out for 48 hours or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Whoops.
reckon Chelsea is pretty like you say, like all the shops and everyone gets into it. And I can't remember who told me, but they have like there's 2 hours of TV coverage every single night about the show.
Yes.
Like so, it's pretty full on still.
It is a big deal. Absolutely. Yeah. I watched a bit of that BBC because there was a lot of stuff that we didn't see as well. Because it is pretty small. Like the area was very congested. Well, what I thought. And so you missed a lot of it as well because they're sort of, six deep sort of thing. Whether or not we got a bad time, bad day, but it was quite congested. So yeah, I went back and watched a bit in the Airbnb we were staying in that night. And it's like, this is cool. We need this in Melbourne.
And when you say there's six deep, you mean there's like 6 rows of people trying to look at the garden at once?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So you really got to sort of slide in and yeah, push a few oldies over and excuse me.
yeah.
So
Did you see
yeah,
the one with the rammed earth building?
probably. I can't remember though.
That was the one I was supposed to
Oh,
work on.
oh, this year.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
won.
cool.
It won gold as well, so that would have.
Well, that was the other thing. Sort of everyone was a winner, which wasn't great. I
Yeah,
think pretty much everyone got a goal.
yeah, right.
Yeah. It's like, okay. So that was the sort of feeling I got. And I thought, that's a bit weird. But I suppose if they mark it and judge it that way, that's the way it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There was one year at MIFGS where there was 4 golds.
Yeah, right. Don't say that, mate. I thought they were really hard to come by.
Well, now there's 2. So apparently the silver is one of the best awards to win there. I've heard.
Is it? Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard that's the new gold.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Very
Maybe
good.
that's changing to bronze next year. I don't know. Well,
Possibly. It's good.
so
So yeah, so no, look, it was unreal. And then through UK, we were still looking at houses and castles and all that sort of thing too. It's just the same. It's just the history in it. You just get blown away and caught up in it all.
yeah,
And
you come back in. We've got a 150-year-old building that's amazing. It's so old.
we were walking through the Bot Gardens the other day, or around that sort of area, and we saw. I don't know who it was. I think it was in the news and that, and he had his head chopped off. So it was just a bloke standing there without a head. That you know, that's what we do to our sort of past and stuff. So yeah, it's very funny. I was in one of the places, one of the houses, the manor houses in UK, and was walking around there, and there's just all this artwork and stuff everywhere. I'm into art and all that sort of thing as well. And I said to the lady from National Trust, what are they on display for? Surely they're like 500 or 600 years old and that. And she said, yeah, they're worthless though, because there's so many of them. I'm just sitting there going, are you kidding me? Just give me two. I'd be happy with that.
Did you go to Monet's garden?
No, I didn't. No, no. We sort of, we were there for a long time, but yeah, sort of short of time as well. There's just so much to do and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be there. So we'll hopefully do it one day. Yeah.
And was there anything that you learnt that you can put into practice from the gardens that you saw? Like any ways of using paths or plants or anything?
I was asked that plants wise, absolutely. So there was a lot of I don't know if you know my style and stuff like that. I love my flowering perennials and I love my box hedge and stuff like that as well. So plants wise, yeah, I got a fair bit of inspiration through that. Everything else was very formal though. So there was a lot of they're all formal gardens being in these chateaus and all that sort of stuff. So there's not a lot I took out of that because that's not sort of my style. And it's not. anything we can really put into practice in the suburban garden and that, I don't think.
Yeah.
We try and do our little box hedge, formal gardens and that, and it just doesn't work. So plants wise, yes. Again, just from my days in construction stuff, rock walls and stone masonry, all that sort of thing. I actually said this, mate, I'm actually going to go back to Melbourne and become a stonemason, I think, and just start, making gargoyles and things that go on churches and chapels and all that sort of stuff, because that was just unreal. Yeah, could really get into that. But yeah, I don't know if it's going to work on one of our, French provincial homes in Baldwin or not. I don't know.
So how did you go work-wise? Like, did you have people ring up wanting work done? You said, I'm booked out for 6 weeks, but then I can start yours? Like, because you were gone for 6 weeks and so you could start it?
Black and white, so I just let them know that that's what we're doing. So yeah, I can't start until we get back. I finished, I think, most of the jobs that I had going before that, which was tough because MIFGS was like 3 weeks before we went away. So I was out for 3 weeks of MIFGS and then back trying to just scramble, doing as much as I can for that 3 weeks before we went. But yeah, I had quite a few jobs lined up for when I got back, which was really helpful.
Yeah.
And landed a few from the garden show as well while I was away. So I was still contactable, still, you know, working, uh, at 5% capacity, but,
Yeah.
you know, they've got phones and stuff like that overseas too. So I was able to
Really?
make
Right.
some calls, yeah, and emails as well. Couldn't believe it. So,
Yeah, so you got some good quality jobs out of MIFGS as well.
yeah, I would say so. I think it's, again, it's doing it 3 years in a row as well. It's a bit of a profile booster as also. So, but it's in the back of people's minds. And if, even now I had a job hook up this week who met me in 2024 boutique. So they've hooked into me. They didn't know about this year's show garden.
Yeah.
So that was good, yeah. So that was good to hear that, it does work. Yeah. So it's a bit hit and miss, but it's all just a profile booster.
Have you had anyone ask about the car that you had in the garden?
Everyone, yes. Yeah. So that's, yeah, it's been a big conversation starting, yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
so I
not,
don't think you
I'm
were
not,
told that story. Maybe you did on the preview episode, I reckon, that I did that little one. So this is actually the fourth time you've been on then, because there was
yeah, it could
also
be.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. What's Peter up to?
It could be. I don't know. I might have run out
Around
of
level
questions.
pegging yet or what? Come on.
But yeah, you had you were showing the design to one of your clients just before MIFGS had started, and she asked if you got a car for the carport, and they said she
Yeah.
a perfect one for you to use. Is that right?
Yeah, so that was great. I met her at, I think it was last year as well. So yeah, if not last year, the year before. So yeah, that was good. So that was lucky. That was really lucky. She was awesome to lend us that. As soon as that drove in, everyone's, they were all a bit envious. Where's that going?
Were you freaking out when it went onto the tiles?
Oh, I know, I had that pretty sorted. Yeah. I think we planned that pretty well actually because I was freaking out thinking how are we going to do that. But Dylan from Jade Built, Sam from Summit Landscapes, they were all over that. They said they pretty much told me, rack off, we'll get this sorted, sort of thing. And then I think Adam's crew actually paved it. So all three of the big crews had a hand in all that, and that was good about this year. I was able to just walk away. They knew what they were doing.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
That's justified for winning the construction award for being able to have a car on the paving without it cracking.
It's probably what it was, I reckon. Yeah, yeah. And the roof didn't blow off or anything like that. So, no, if you had a good look at that house internally and externally, you would have been blown away with the finishing of all that sort of stuff. And that's all credit to everyone who worked on it, the painters, the chippy. everyone who worked on that just showed so much pride and worked hard and wanted to achieve the best result. So I can't speak more highly of all of them. They were unbelievable.
Were
Yeah.
there was there anything you wish you did more of, or wish you did like when you were there that you reflected on since then?
Not really. No, there was a few things the judges brought up, and this might sound a bit controversial, but I did take it on the chin. They marked me down for a couple of things that I sort of disagree with them about. And no judgment or anything, because that goes back to what we were saying. It's in the eye of the beholder and all that sort of stuff. And
Yeah.
there was reason for a few of the decisions I made. So no, I don't think so. I think we did everything we wanted to get done. It actually turned out probably better than I thought it would have. So yeah, no, I was pretty happy with the whole thing, to be honest.
You take enough photos?
Took a few photos, yeah. Yeah. I didn't take enough videos though. It's one of those things you gotta take the video and use them for socials because the photo, they're a bit of just a screenshot and there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny.
But
Before my big build 2 years ago, I was telling people, yeah, you need to take heaps of photos and videos, and just yeah, there's
yep.
no such thing as too much. And then looking back on it, I think I wish I did a lot more. Wish I took a lot more
Yes.
photos and videos. But
Yeah.
even though I knew that I wanted to do it, I still didn't do enough.
A lot of drone shots and those sort of things I think would work a lot better as well now. We've got that sort of technology to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and get it professionally done too, because the photos I took compared to what we got professionally, it's chalk and cheese.
Yeah, my background is well, Dan Cusack photography because he was part of this build and took photos
Yeah,
as well, so that was handy.
brilliant. That's awesome.
What are you planning on now? Like, because you've had MIFGS 3 years in a row, so you've been constantly working on and recovering from that. Are you just going to actually make money or something?
A bit of money now. Yeah, 3 years of catching up to do, um, which is nice already because I've actually noticed it. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, hang on, there's a bit of extra dough that I don't have to spend on Facebook Marketplace or something like that.
Yeah,
But it's actually been really good too because I am concentrating a lot more on the business and also I'm busy. There's a lot of work coming through. It has been a bit tough, as everyone knows, for the last 12, 18 months, I think. But I'm pretty optimistic about it. I think it's going to start picking up hopefully soon with, let's cross fingers, another interest rate cut or something like that. And it's really going to hopefully get people off their asses and get outside and build some gardens. I'm looking at a few different other things as well, which I think it's important to have that spill off from not just working, not just sitting in front of the computer for me or on the tools all day, every day. It's good to have that sort of side project going. So I'm looking at doing something which I'll sort of hopefully release in the next couple of months or whatever. And yeah, and see how that goes, I suppose.
so you're just aiming for a fifth episode now, so you can come on and talk about
Pretty much.
that.
Yeah. Planting the seed, mate. Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you a couple of months grace.
Thank you. Last question for you, Paul. Who do you think would be a good guest to have on the podcast?
I did think of someone the other day. Oh, there's a couple actually. I don't know if you've had him on or not. Jim Fogarty would be awesome.
I have, yes.
Um, I went to uni with Jim and stay in contact, not as much as we should probably, but still, speak every now and again. And I saw a post for the first time in years on Instagram by Julian McCarthy. I don't know if you know Julian. He's
Yeah.
a construction guy. Again, I went to uni with Julian, top bloke. Don't know how you go getting him or not, but yeah,
He
he'd
did a
be
lot
a
of
very
Paul Van
interesting
Gay
one.
stuff, didn't he?
He's doing a lot of Paul stuff, yeah. But I think he'd be very interesting because yeah, he would have done well, he has done epic gardens in the past too. So yeah, those two would be good to have a chat with, I reckon.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, the good thing is you'll be able to scroll back and listen to Jim's episode because he has been on.
Okay, I better scroll back.
And yeah, if anyone wants to hear more about your trips overseas, or if you any recommendations, they can reach out to you and hear more
Yep,
about that. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on again, and I look forward
no
to
worries.
seeing what you're doing in the next couple of months with the new announcement.
Beautiful. Yeah, don't hold your breath, but yeah, it's something on the horizon. Maybe might be like the landscape.
Yeah,
Um,
it'll happen one day.
it'll happen. Yeah. So no,
All
all
right.
good. Thanks,
Thanks, Paul.
Joel. Cheers.